Hello, Lisa here. If you go to sleep at night and you feel like you've done something, more than likely you have. We consider that you're working for the army of the Lord or you're working for the army of the bad guys. Either way, I'm talking to you. If you look at my eyes, you can tell I've been active in the dream time. It's been pretty bizarre out there. I don't know if you're having bizarre times. These theorems of mine are based on Dolores Cannon's work reading the Bible and my own personal experiences. Now, I have some messages, like personal messages, and um, I never did put my video. I went to church, Fresh Life Church, and heard Pastor Levi's message. And he talks about, their tithing is going to be used for outreach programs for children. And they gave a testimony, children. Well, I have little children that follow me around in the dream time because people do stuff to children. There are a group of bad people who look for children who are going to be light workers in the future or chosen ones, and they start tormenting them at an early age. That I guess this is something that's been going on for quite some time. Hold on a minute, people. And Miss Lisa's not aware of this kind of stuff. I've just been awakened, really. Well, awakening is a very subtle and slow process. I mean, I started when I actually was 30 years old. So I don't know what stage I'm in. But if you're here with me listening about the dream time, from what I understand, Spirit tells us we're on our last lifetimes. We are the army for the Lord. We battle bad guys out in the dream time. And so, there's a lot of smiting going on. And speaking of smiting, Sargent Micheal of the Silver Shoes. So I went out, I'm in a hotel room, right? I'm going to go look at places today. But it was embarrassing for me because, if Michael, you have to know that I've been followed. I went out and went to eat last night. I was so proud of myself, even though I had a hard time. I lost my apron. They found it in the parking lot, thankfully. But my employee badge is gone, and I was so proud of it. I organized my little dresser where the TV's over, and I put all my stuff and cleaned it up, and I set my badge there like it was on its little pedestal, and it's gone. I have to ask for a new badge. And Sergeant Michael, I don't know if you have people here connecting with the people I'm working with, but whoever took that badge has my employee number, which means they'll be able to get in and fuck with my wages. So could you please end that for me? I would be ever so grateful if you could. Because I can't think of any other reason why they'd want to unless they want to fail me in my training, which, if anybody was watching in there yesterday, the computer wouldn't work and then they wouldn't save. And this happened to me at the other place I worked with the computer, and I couldn't go forward. And that's why part of why they wanted to fire me is, oh, she's 68 and she can't think correctly. So they're going to play the same fucking game again. They got my employee number. So maybe ask the gal, her name, well, I won't say you can figure it out, if maybe they should give me a new employee number or they need to watch my hours, my pay hours. I would be grateful for that. Anyway, that's the stupidity. Anyway, let's get back to little children and Pastor Levi, and I have kids that follow me because they feel safe in the dream time, even though they probably follow us around and see some pretty heinous stuff that we do, but they're learning. They're learning, and I'm sure some of us help keep them back. Anyway, it's been an interesting tale. I just found out this morning Victor won custody of his children. Hey, Victor, congratulations. And Spirit's got a message for you. Um, this is really strange message. So, Doctor Strange, there is a real Doctor Strange out there, by the way. Um, Now, this is from that guy Zachary, Phoenix Rising, and I kept some of the symbols. This says dare to dance. And the symbols come out for the Doctor Strange. I don't know why. Dare to dance, and I'll hold that up there again. I'm not sure this part of the symbol, where am I, is correct. I'm not sure it's supposed to drip down like that, but maybe it did. They want you to eat meat. Evidently, you're on a vegetarian kick. I know I had to go in and open up your breathing last night because you were having some form of allergy attack. They say you need to eat meat because you carry bear energy. And now, if you have all the kids, you're going to need the protein. You're going to need the meat stamina. So, Doctor Strange needs to eat meat, and they dare him to dance, whatever that means. Oh, spirit's funny. Sargent Micheal, I hope you cream these mothers for me, because I'm sick of it. Now, here's an interesting story. The Lyrian, and there's more than one Lyrian. I just met a new Lyrian. He's cute, too. He's got blue eyes. They want you to cleanse, Lyrian, because you downed 5 warlocks since the month of June. The Lyrian's taken down 5 effing warlocks since the month of June. Good job, Lyrian. And he photographs things in 5D, just so you know. He's like a 5D filmographer, but that's not on his resume. Okay, so I have to cover this up. There's a celestial warning from something from North Dakota. Will not pass. You shall not pass. Merlin energies are on it. Celestial warning for something going on in North Dakota. Oh boy, what a time we're having. For Divine Feminine out there, maybe more than one, luck is on your side. The ocean, always give gratitude when you visit the ocean. But the ocean wants you to make and do. Make art, do, and then bask. Bask in the glory of the stars. Okay, that's just somebody. And let's see. The Lord Shiva is speaking out. Nature speaks to you. Nature speaks to you. And if number 1 resonates with you, they want you to research, read, and write, study. So whoever nature speaks to, the one that nature speaks to from Lord Shiva wants you to research, read, write, or study. All right, well, there's my messages today. I'm going to keep it short. Kids are important. Pastor Levi brought it up. Victor won his children, which that's got to be a... Wow. Victor won his children. That's big. That's all we really need to say. Yay, Victor. We're all rooting for you. I'm amazed at all the people that really respect you. You have a lot of friends out there. I think you have friends you didn't even know were your friends, which is kind of cool. I think it's great. Well, the situation, the circumstances is not great, but things are kind of going to even out. Now that you have your children, you should be able to have a lot of less anxiety, I would think, and you'd be able to smooth some stuff out. Anyway, Sargent Micheal, please look into my badge being stolen. I would really appreciate that. And I would really like to stop being hassled. What are any of you to me? Why would you come into my world? Why would you cause me strife? Especially if you think my energy was elevating you in some way. Wouldn't you want to take care of me? Well, why would you want to put me down? Why would you want to put down your energy field? Just because you don't like it? Just because you want to have it? Well, you're not it. You don't have it, and that's just the way it is. You have to accept reality. You have to accept things sometimes for the way they are. And you don't go and do and sit and twirl your hair and think thoughts to manifest things that aren't really yours to manifest. You work towards manifesting. Honest work, honest labor. And that's what they're trying to stop me from doing, is being an honest laborer and say that I'm this, that, and the other thing that I'm not. Anyway, peace out, everybody. I don't want to do this message too long. I'm really grateful that Victor has his children. That's a good thing. I'm grateful to the little kids who follow me around. And yay to the Lyrian for downing some warlocks. That's pretty awesome. And all you hidden helpers out there. Anyway, Pastor Levi, if I have anything to say about that. He mentioned Billy Graham stated that at any point that the church could die via the next generation. And not to be offensive to preachers and stuff, but seriously, when we talk about spiritual awakening and the elevation of consciousness, and it's interesting, Pastor Levi did mention the word chosen, okay, but he was in referencing to the TV show Chosen. But in some ways, that pastor speaks to the chosen, because Pastor Levi does express very, very dogmatically, in a way, that God uses the freaks and the weirdos. God uses the people who aren't afraid to break paradigms and rules and authorities, like Jesus himself came into the whole paradigm as he positioned himself as being part of David's lineage through the women in his family, which was totally like a no-no in them days. Okay, it was patriarchal, not matriarchal. But maybe Jesus was 2000 whatever years ahead of his time of getting the world ready to switch from patriarchal to matriarchal. However, it's not ready yet. There's entities forcing women, or what's the word, compulsing women to be not like divine feminines like they should be. So there's a contradiction and a strange spirit going on. We all need to pray about that. In our movies and TV shows that we watch, there's a lot of demasculation and defeminization of making women seem tough. And we can be, but that's not the be all end all to being a woman. Women need to have wisdom, balance, and be able to discern right from wrong. And that's really what makes a good leader in any realm, is that you don't listen to gossip, okay? Don't People who do gossip shouldn't be in positions of leadership at all. You don't listen to gossip. You don't talk about other people. You stand in their shoes before you make a judgment on them, okay? And you always use wisdom and discernment. And then it's really advisable to have leaders that follow a higher order of things. And then, when I look at, I'm working and all the people under me are a lot younger, I appreciate that. I appreciate the young people, especially when they care about their elders. Elders should be respected. After all, I might not have it all together upstairs, but I've been through a lot, and I'm still effing standing. And the people who respect me will get blessed for that. And my kids are being effed with by this spiritual team, and they're adults. But it's still hard to watch your children go through things. But I know my kids are strong, and they'll come through. And I know they're protected as well. Do you know that about your kids? I hope you do. I'll pray for you that your kids are as good at, turn out to be powerful human beings that won't be taken advantage of. And in this day and age, gee, it's so easy for anybody to be taken advantage of, especially when it seems like money does open doors. Money is the signifier for how you can go forward in life, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be how you stand to your words, because that's the way it's always been. Universal law, as a man is usually judged, or a woman, by their words, deeds, and actions. And it's still that way, okay? And you might think you can say and do anything and get away with it, but really you can't. And if you do get away with stuff, after a while, it does come back and hit you. That's called karma. Okay? And then when people try to create karma, what looks like karma for other people to make their careers go south, because they wanted to divorce somebody, because somebody was cheating or whatever, and then they do all this compulsion and witchcraft stuff to people who are actually decent people, but they try to make them look like they have bad karma. That comes back and hits people in the face, i.e., Victor got his children, and what's her name doesn't have them. And anyway, children are important. They're the next generation. They need to be taught, and church needs to elevate that there's going to be children. Pastor Levi told this story, and I so identified with this. There was some little girl in their church, and they gave her crayons and papers, and then, what are you drawing? So and so. I'm drawing God. But nobody's ever seen God and knows what he looks like. She says, when I'm done, you'll know what God looks like. And you know what? I laugh so hard because I can actually say that to myself. I know what God looks like. I see him. I can see him. And it's like I can identify with that little girl. I know what God looks like. And I tease Victor because I tell him he's got the neck of God. God has a neck just like his. It fits in his head just like his does, except God has long blonde hair. And so I tease Victor about it. I know what God looks like. He kind of looks like you, but he's got long blonde hair. He's got that neck. Anyway, that's a silly story. I just thought I'd share it. But I like it when little kids know stuff. And you should listen to that. If your little kid starts spouting off crazy shit, don't just tell them stop. Listen to it. Listen to it. And you can discern. And a lot of times if you listen to your kids, like especially if they're in babysitters and stuff, they'll let you know when things are not going right. And watch their drawings psychologically. Like, so when little kids draw and they don't have hands or feet, that means something. You should look that up. I'm not going to say what it means because I'm not a psychologist, but it does have a meaning when you see kids drawing and the adults don't have hands. They're psychologically taking them out. Anyway, that's all. Kids are important. Kudos to Victor. Congratulations. Kudos to everybody out there who's hidden helpers. I appreciate you. And Sargent Micheal, please look into my badge. I'd appreciate it. Peace out, everybody. Remember, I think you're amazing. Oh, and one other thing I want to apologize for. I sometimes can't regulate my emotions. I get real emotional about things. I am going to go talk to somebody once I get my home, an address. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll get it before Thanksgiving. Pray for me that happens, because I'm going to buy a Christmas tree, and I can't wait to decorate my own little Christmas tree and have my own little space and smell my own food cooking, and just make it cozy and warm, even though it won't be very big. I'm excited. So peace out. If I don't get on here, which I probably will before Thanksgiving, but if something does occur and I'm doing stuff, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and be safe and take care of your families. Peace out. Remember, I think you're amazing, and I do really love you. Bye now.